Hello everyone, this is update for July 2, 2023, day 494 of the war and of the date update. Also catch up for July 1. There's not really many news, so just one important news is that Russian side is expecting renewal of Ukrainians' major offensive in the same area as the Zaporizhya front line here, where it's already happening. Sometime, starting, let's say, July 3 till between July 3 and July 11. Let's say July 10. This is the expectation is because of this NATO meeting and the way the Russian side is thinking that Ukrainian side needs to show some results before the meeting. I would say this would be totally disastrous political decision if it's going to be made. But anything is possible. Ukrainian political top is definitely under pressure. There's no question about it, and quite a bit of pressure internally and externally. So they may end up doing this decision, second trial of this offensive. We'll find out in the coming days if it's going to happen or not. Honestly, for me, it's a coin toss, and I would say at this point, in this condition where Ukrainian side is, it would be definitely a mistake. Well, as I said, we'll see this in the coming 7 days or so. Now let's do a quick walk through the front line. It's gonna starting in the north, and then we're gonna go down in a clockwise fashion. Situation along the state border more or less quiet. There's a little bit heightened activity near Kursk region of Russia, but really nothing major there is going on. Now let's jump to North Lugansk front line. Things here are quiet, just tactical fighting, tactical skirmishes to improve positions locally, but nothing again major here. Let's move to North Donbass front line. Things here also mostly tactical fighting, even though I show this arrows, but truly it's nothing really major, just attempts to improve positions by Russian side. As you can see, through north, and then Ukrainian side straight north and south of Bakhmut, just typical attacks. Not much progress there by either side. I would say Russian side no progress at all. Ukrainian side is like 100 meters, which essentially is nothing from all intents and purposes. Totally positional fight so far. Now let's move to the central Donbass front line. Things here also fairly quiet. Typical locations: Marinka, north of Avdiivka, Pisky Selin, but again, this is World War One, and in its finest, and really nothing major is happening here. Now let's move to the Zaporizhya front line. So here there was some probing attack by Ukrainian side, straight south from Orikhiv towards village Robotyne. There's information from Russian side that there was some 300-meter progress. Again, nothing major. This is not a breakthrough. But Ukrainian side is continuing hammering in the same location, expecting a different result. I don't know. That, again, as I said, I'm extremely skeptical about the success, especially if Ukrainian side continues the way it continues and hope for different results is very strange to me. Now let's move to this Kherson front line, or whatever we call it, Dnipro front line. So Russian command is desperately trying to destroy these bridgeheads, especially this one on the next to Kherson on the eastern side of bank of the Dnipro River. And the reason they are so desperate, because if it's not going to get destroyed, eventually it can grow into something bigger and really create huge threat for the Russian side. The problem for Russian side, they don't have enough troops to really destroy it, and then it's also super difficult just because of the geography. Let me show you the geography so you understand better why it's extremely difficult to destroy it. So basically, this is Ukrainian bridgehead here on the next to Kherson. As you can see, it's very thin line, and the sort of center of it here around the bridge, or remains of the bridge, basically. And the problem for the Russian side is actually here in Alashki. So they have to go along this road. They cannot go, as you can see, it's kind of like marshes, essentially. This is all kind of marshes here. And so they cannot really use maneuver. They have to kind of go along this road, and it's about 2 kilometers long. And basically there is support. There is artillery support from the western bank of Ukrainian side, and so when they try to attack, they are subject to intense artillery shelling, and they have significant losses. And the problem that they cannot move, as I said, in either direction, in either side. They have to go along this road and suffer quite a bit of losses. Nevertheless, Russian command is throwing in these frontal attacks, suicidal attacks. This is, as I said, exactly the same what's going on, what was happening before with Russian approaching near Vuhledar, Bilohorivka, many other places, and the same with Ukrainian approach right now on the Zaporizhya front line. It's essentially, there is no difference between the two. The other complication here is that Ukrainian side is also mining the sides, really the sides of the road and the road itself. So it turns into almost impossible obstacle for the Russian troops at this point. In theory, it is possible, but as I said before, at the level of competence of the command and motivation of the soldiers, it's not possible for the Russian side. I would say for Ukrainian side, it's mostly not possible due to the competence of the command and general organizational failures in Ukrainian army. So that would be in the same position. I would say that if, let's say, we flipped it side, there would be the same situation. There wouldn't be much difference. But this is sort of the whole. That's where it's happening, and again, the biggest fear of the Russian command and that this bridgehead grows in size, and then Ukrainian side will bring actually brigades there, full brigades, and will start moving towards Crimea. At that point, it's gonna be extremely dangerous situation, as I said, situation for the Russian side, as I said before. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.